The US is turning to new technologies like electric vehicle charging and renewable energy to fight the climate crisis. A new technology getting attention is carbon capture and storage. This is part of the big climate plan in the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act, which sets aside $369 billion for clean energy, including money for carbon capture projects. This tech is still new but is expected to help a lot in reducing harmful emissions. But what is it? And how is it shaping the battle against climate change right here in the US? Stay tuned as we break it all down for you. But before we dive into today's video, take a moment to click that like button and subscribe to our channel. Be sure to hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on our upcoming videos. Understanding carbon capture and storage. Imagine capturing a ghost from the air. That's pretty much what carbon capture and storage do with CO2. This groundbreaking technology traps carbon dioxide emissions from sources like power plants or directly from the atmosphere. But it doesn't stop there. It compresses, transports, and stores this carbon deep underground in places like saline reservoirs or depleted oil fields. Why is this important, you ask? Unlike renewable energy, which prevents emissions, CCS deals with the carbon we've already dumped into our atmosphere. It's like cleaning up and ensuring that the climate crisis doesn't turn into a full-blown catastrophe. How does carbon capture and storage work? Carbon capture and storage, CCS, is like a superhero process that grabs carbon dioxide, or CO2, from places where it's made before it can escape into the air and warm up our planet. Think of CCS as a three-part adventure: capture, transport, and storage. First up, capture. The smokestacks at factories act like chimneys that let out CO2. With CCS, we attach a special gadget to these stacks. This gadget acts like a trap, catching the CO2 and the gases that come out. We use a special chemical called amine, which is good at grabbing CO2 and holding onto it. Now, the air that leaves the chimney is much cleaner, mostly just water vapor and nitrogen, nothing harmful. Next, we need to deal with the captured CO2. We heat it up to split it from the amine, then squish it down so it turns into a liquid. Why? Because liquid CO2 takes up less room, making it easier to handle. Then comes the transport stage. We pump this liquid CO2 into a super strong pipeline and send it off to a safe place far away from the atmosphere. And finally, storage. We pump the CO2 way down, deep into the earth, beneath layers of solid rock that act like a natural lid, keeping it trapped. It's the same kind of rock that's kept oil and gas tucked away safely for millions of years. Hence, the oil sands industry and others are jumping on this CCS bandwagon to cut down emissions and help us all reach our climate goals. Cool, right? CCS in the United States, current projects and developments. The United States is one of the global leaders in CCS technology and implementation, with several significant projects either in operation or under development. Petra Nova. Located in Thompsons, Texas, Petra Nova is one of the world's largest CCS projects attached to a power plant. This initiative captures CO2 from a portion of the flue gas from a coal-fired power plant and utilizes the captured CO2 for enhanced oil recovery, EOR, in the nearby West Ranch oil field. Boundary Dam. Although technically in Saskatchewan, Canada, Boundary Dam has significant implications for the CCS landscape in North America. It is the world's first full-scale CCS project integrated into a coal-fired power plant. The success and challenges of Boundary Dam provide valuable insights for similar projects in the U.S. Illinois Industrial Carbon Capture and Storage Project. This project, located in Decatur, Illinois, focuses on capturing CO2 emissions from an ethanol production plant and storing them in a deep underground saline formation. It demonstrates the potential for CCS in industrial applications beyond power generation. NET Power's Alam Cycle. Although not a traditional CCS project, NET Power's facility in LaPorte, Texas, represents a novel approach by integrating carbon capture into the power generation process itself. The Alam cycle technology generates low-cost electricity from natural gas while capturing CO2 emissions inherently in the process. Carbon-safe projects. The Carbon-safe initiative, funded by the Department of Energy, is designed to support the development of CCS projects capable of storing 50+ million metric tons of CO2. Various projects under this initiative are underway across the US, targeting large-scale geologic storage solutions. Challenges on the road. Despite its potential, CCS faces several challenges, including high costs, energy requirements, and public perception issues. The technology's widespread adoption is also hampered by regulatory uncertainties and the need for significant infrastructure development. However, with increasing emphasis on reducing greenhouse gas emissions and meeting climate goals, interest in CCS is growing. Innovations aimed at reducing costs and increasing efficiency are in development, and policy incentives, such as tax credits under the 45Q rule, are encouraging investment in CCS projects. Furthermore, the expansion of CCS is not just limited to traditional fossil fuel industries. Emerging applications include capturing CO2 directly from the atmosphere, direct air capture, and utilizing captured carbon in products such as concrete, thus broadening the scope and potential impact of CCS technologies. Yet, hope is not lost. With global ambitions to skyrocket carbon capture from 40 million to over 5 billion tons annually by 2050, the CCS industry could become the new employment superhero, potentially creating up to 2 million jobs by 2050. Outro carbon capture and storage represents a critical component in the portfolio of solutions addressing climate change. While challenges remain, the ongoing projects and developments across the United States showcase the potential for CCS to contribute significantly to reducing greenhouse gas emissions. As technology advances and costs decrease, CCS could play an increasingly central role in the global effort to combat climate change, transitioning from a niche technology to a widespread tool in the fight against global warming. What are your thoughts on CCS? Drop your thoughts below. And if you found this dive enlightening, give us a like, hit subscribe, and ring that bell for insightful content.